Hey guys, well, it's Tuesday, the first, I think it's the 1st of October, Tuesday, yeah, the 1st of October, I believe it is, and you can see that I have this thing fixed up here. Let me sit down for a second. I'm wore out here this morning. It's very hot out. It was supposed to be raining today again, and it didn't rain at all except for last night, but it is, the humidity must be, relative humidity must be 60 or better. It's unbelievably humid, and it's very hot today for some reason. It feels like it's about 75 or so. Anyway, I thought you'd like to get a look at this. Let me see if I can shut the garage door and we might be able to see a little better what I got here. There we go. Yeah, so I cleaned the whole thing up. I put a little bit of oil on it here and there at different places. I sanded the top down and I put a little bit of oil on the top there. That's why it looks shiny, but I'm not going to paint that because the paint will only get all over the metal that I slip in and out, so I don't need that. Painted stepper orange so that I don't walk into it, hopefully. And I put it on a set of wheels. I was thinking about where I'd like to put this in this garage, and the problem is I don't really have a place to put it because of having the truck in here, this just truck here. But I figured I'd put it on wheels, and then the problem that came after that was that the wheels that I had, you can see they bolted in from the bottom. So what I did was I took bolts, I cut the heads off and welded them to the top of the shaft that goes through there. These wheels are good for 350 pounds a piece. Now, this thing is heavy, but I don't think it weighs more than, 900 pounds. I don't even think it weighs that much. But anyway, so what I was saying there is I welded the half-inch stud with the head off onto the top of the pin that came through. And it's holding this up good. And not only that, but when you stomp on it to cut, it doesn't tip forward or backward or anything like that. It does a nice job. So I think you can appreciate the time I spent on this. Yeah, it was only yesterday afternoon actually is when I started, and I finished it this morning, and I even managed to take out my 82-year-old neighbor for lunch. So at least there was a couple of good things I'd done today. I really do need to get over there to my planer and start working on that, but it's a little late now. It's 3 o'clock and I'm going to be quitting soon. Anyway, I just wanted to see, I put a new guide in here. This is a new piece of plexiglass. And the weird thing is I had a piece of plexiglass laying over in the corner there, standing up. And I was just about ready to throw it away last week, thinking to myself, it's been here long enough. And sure enough, a piece of that fit in there really nice so I can see back in there when, where the blade's cutting and stuff like that without getting somebody's fingers back in through there. And then I also cleaned the rulers off. I could probably put some kind of paint, rub some paint into that so that the ruler's numbers stay out a little better, but in reality, I have them set so that they're exactly the distance off the cutter. You can see this is the cutter where my finger's at right here. So the distance from the cutter to the wheel or to the ruler is the right measurement and everything. And on both sides there's a ruler. That one's a little harder to see though. Looks like somebody was sliding stuff over top of it. But anyway, I figured I'd paint it up so it would look nice and then I don't have to worry about that. This friggin' thing should probably last another 100 years because I don't really see anything wrong with it. Nothing seems to be worn out. The parts that make it work are not that hard to fix or replace, if you ask me. The one thing I did have with it, when I first brought it in here, I had a heck of a time. I couldn't pick up one side by myself and then put something underneath it. So I tried using a jack, and when I did, it ended up with the top falling over on me. Luckily, it fell into the dirt outside and not on the concrete. I don't know if I would have broke or not, but it didn't break. Nothing's broke on it. So it's good. So like I say, I oiled a little bit here and over in here and then along the blade so that it would move better. And it works really nice. I mean, I'd never give this thing away, no matter what. Let me just say that. And I do appreciate my neighbor giving it to me, because I could really use something like this. I could actually use this when I make my bevel siding cutters. Sorry about that, guys. I could use that when I make the bevel siding cutters. I could use it when I do body work. All kinds of cutting without grinding. I used to, when I would cut sheet metal, I always had to put it in the milling machine so that I could get it flat, real flat, to be able to weld it nice. And this here will solve that problem in just one step. So again, if you didn't see the video from before, like I said, my neighbor is moving up from North Carolina. He gave me this, and he also gave me the brake right there, which I didn't work on yet, and I'm not going to. I'll work on that this winter sometime. But I wanted to get this fixed up and looking nice, and it does. And like I say, I can move it. Let me put the camera in the stand and I'll just show you a little bit here. I mean, it's heavy. That thing got to weigh as much as an engine block or more. I would say it probably weighs 400 or 500 pounds, maybe even a little more than that. I'd have to try to look it up. But it does move. And like I say, when you step on it to cut with it, it doesn't, you know, try to lean forward or anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take this and leave it right here. I moved some other stuff out of my way, but I'm going to leave it right there where I have it now. And when I need to do metal cutting, I'm going to use that to cut it. I think I'll put a piece of plastic over it just to try and keep it the way it is. But it really is a nice cutter. Very happy to have it. You couldn't buy one of these today for probably, if you were going to buy a brand new cutter made like this, made this nice, to be this adjustable and also to be this rock solid, you'd be paying $3,500, $4,500 for that thing. And to get it for nothing. Of course, I do favors for my neighbor. We do favors back and forth, but even so. So very nice. And again, I thank him for it. So we'll be having some nice machine shop work, or I mean metal shop work being done on that thing. Yeah, I don't know if I said I painted that step orange just so I would hopefully not walk into it. Because with it being so heavy, it doesn't really move out of your way too readily. But even with the wheels on there, you know, I'm not going to be moving it all over the place. But right now I have nowhere that I can really put it. I got to get my other part of the garage built so I can have a metal shop over there and move some of this stuff over that way, or put the wood shop over there and the metal shop over here. I got to do something. So anyway, that's my problem at the moment, but it's not a biggie. And I thought you just might like to see that, and like me, sit back and enjoy it for a couple of seconds. Those wheels I had on two boards that I used to keep stored away just in case I needed to put them under something to move it. And this, they got nominated for this. So this is where they're going to be staying. Like I say, everything seems to be working good on it. Doesn't seem to have any problems moving on those wheels. So it should be fine. Alright guys, well that's about what I'm going to do in the garage today. Of course I need to bring my truck in here, so I need to set my little ramps up. I made these ramps out of 2x12s because I needed to put a transmission in a truck, and not the truck you saw me working on last year, but I needed the transmission in a truck. and I needed to have something to get the truck up a little bit off the ground higher than what the jack stands would do. And I have to tell you that this really works nice for doing that. I don't have any problems with this thing. And then I just pull the truck in here and leave it parked on it. And it's the 2x12s. The 2x12s that are in here, you can see on the back of this here, there's a block that goes across. And then there's a block in there here, here, here. So it looks like I got them about every 2 feet running up through there, and that makes it pretty solid. I've driven on this thing with some heavy stuff already with no problems. So anyway, I want to move my jack there, and then I'm going to bring the truck in. A little tight up in the front there where I have the wood and the brake, but I'll work on that brake once. I want to build a stand for the brake first. That's going to be at the level I'm going to work at. And the problem with the brake is you can't really put it on wheels because you're lifting up on it. So I got to figure out where I want to put that for certain. It's bench top, and I have some bench top, but I don't have a lot of bench top space. So I'm going to leave it right where I have it for a little while. Anyway. Alright guys, thanks for watching the video. Thanks for all the comments on the other videos. I wanted to mention also, somebody had said something to me about buying a helical, I believe they're called helical type teeth for a planer cut. When I priced one of those, I just need to push this. When I priced one of those, it was $3,000 for a planer. And I had no idea whether the planer would last or not. So I didn't buy it. Now if $3,000 is what I would need to spend to plane the little bit of wood that I have, then I would buy it, but I don't need to spend that kind of money, and I'm not going to. They say that they are a lot better. I don't know that either because I've never had one. But I'm not spending the money that I don't have to spend. It's that simple. That's why I have all the stuff that I fix up. That's why I fixed this thing, because I'm not going to spend $3,000, $4,000 to buy one of these brand new, but I'll spend, you know, 20, 30, 40 bucks to fix this one. That's not an issue. I'd have spent $200 to fix it if I had to, but I don't have to, so that's a good deal. Alright guys, have a good one. Again, thank you very much for watching. I love the comments. Keep them coming regardless of whether you're against what I'm doing or for what I'm doing, because sometimes I need to have my mind changed. So have a good one, guys. Bye. Well guys, I had to tighten the planer down to the table, so I did that and I'm done there. You can see how muddy looking everything is. It rained pretty hard the other night, or last night I should say. Kind of muddy up in there. It's all muddy over in here. I'd rather if this dried up a little bit before I started working in it. I just hope it dries up and we don't get really cold weather after this. It should only take me about a week to plane that, and I'm not going to do any planing today, but I'll be planing tomorrow, especially if the weather's like it is right now. So I'm just trying to show you people, you know, that are thinking about buying a sawmill, especially the LT15, what all you go through to get the boards really nice, you know, to have really nice looking wood. And naturally the biggest thing is the logs. If you don't have nice looking logs, you're not going to get nice looking boards. It's that simple. And sometimes even nice looking logs are surprising inside. So it's a struggle, and you have to, you know, be cautious and hardworking to be able to make money at this. But nonetheless, it's not beyond our capabilities, because somebody else is doing the same thing I'm doing, and you know, they make money at it, and I know that this has made me money, so I don't worry about that. I'm just saying, going to take me about a week to do that, and that's what I'll be doing then coming up this coming week. So got to put my ratchet set away, and then I'm done out here for today. It's amazing. It looked like there were no clouds, but I see clouds are up there, so we have to see what's going to happen here today. I hate when this weather's goofy like this. I really enjoyed those past couple weeks of no rain we had. I think it was 2 weeks. You can see we got pretty many leaves down, but the weird thing is they're not changing color really yet. Now it's October, so in the next 2 weeks all of this should be gone. 2-3 weeks.